Hey y'all, welcome to Booked with Bella. And I just wanted to share with you this haul. I could have easily have just made it into a short because we have popcorn syndrome, okay? But I was like, no, I want to talk about these books more in depth. I'm so excited to share these books with you. Why am I excited? Because of a number of reasons. Okay, first of all, these books I got at half price books from the clearance section. Okay, I'm talking about like all of these books. Let's see, six of them. All these books were $3 a piece on the clearance shelves at half price books. Oh my goodness, I don't know why more people do not. Yeah. Well, save them for me if you don't want to shop on the clearance section. All of them are in next to new or new condition, and all of them are authors and books that I have never, ever heard of. Last weekend, I went to Half Price Books and I was just browsing around. And of course, I always go to the clearance section. And what happened was I just really took my time to really read the descriptions. And like I'm completely like a thriller reader. Like I'm usually looking for thrillers. But in the past I used to always like only read nonfiction and memoirs. So now I just go to thriller. So I would have never even found most of these books if I would have just went to my thriller section. So that's another reason why you need to hit up the clearance fiction or nonfiction shelves at half price books, and you might find some other stuff that you can get into. And warning, these descriptions are probably going to suck, but it's a haul and I have not read any of these books yet before. So give me a break, okay? I haven't read them. I'm only going off of like the vague descriptions that are on the book, and I wasn't about to go any deeper because I don't want to spoil them for myself. Okay, the first one is The Tell by Amy Griffin. It is a memoir. First of all, I love this cover of this book. It's bright and poppy and abstract looking. And this was actually a part of Oprah's book club just last year in 2025. Where was I? I must have been up underneath a rock. No, actually, I know where I was at. I was searching for thrillers, okay? And like I said, I used to love memoirs. So I had to make sure that I grabbed this one. From what I can tell, this one is about a woman who is a mother and she has some secrets, and they resurfaced, I believe, like from her memories, her childhood trauma. And that's all that I know about this book. So I'm going in pretty blind. The description didn't give much. It told us the location and all this stuff, where she's from Texas and things like that, but the description kept it pretty vague. But I think this one's going to be really good. Like, and I guess like in her perfectionism, she she is actually hiding some secrets from her family and her friends, and even from herself in her subconsciousness. So that's all I know about it. Super excited to read it. Haven't read a memoir in years. And memoirs are nonfiction, if you don't know, and they are stories of people's real actual lives. And what I love about memoirs is that they take you on a journey of someone's life. And usually by the end of most memoirs, the person who's telling their story, the author, comes out on top. Okay, this next book is No Two Persons by Erica Bauermeister. This one is probably the one that I am like, this is probably one of them I'm most excited to read. Okay, this one is about a writer who it talks about each of their readers, like their readers' stories. And all the readers are from different walks of life. And I believe they're all reading the same book. And so the book affects each one of them differently. So it's like how the book affects you and how we're all closely connected. Like each one of the readers are totally different people. One is a homeless teenager, one is a free diver, one is a bookseller, there's an artist, and there's a widower. And so they're all going through their own personal issues, I guess. But this book affects them all differently. So I'm super excited about that one. You know, I am a writer and I love to read. So I think that if you super enjoy reading, if you love to write, like I'm sure this book is really going to be good for you because that is so interesting. Like how one book affects different people. That is so interesting. I cannot wait to dive into this one. Okay, the next book is Excel, and it's by Johannes Any Uru. And this book is actually a book that's been translated into English. The author is actually Swiss. So that's interesting in itself. But this book is about a woman who discovers this golden CD, hence why there's this CD on the cover of the book. And there's a voice on it claiming to be her dead boyfriend. And he's saying that he's somewhere called the nothingness section. And that's that he's on an island sinking into the sea. But this woman is known, I guess, to spin false narratives. So I guess for me, that's all the description really was. So I just am like, well, I just want to know, like, is this actually a haunting, or is this lady still grieving, or is she lying, right? So it's very much like going into a book blind because there's not a lot of information at all, even in the description. Like literally, that is it. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to reading an author who is not American as well. And I have like only one other book that's been translated into English, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You know, I want to be and continue to be really a well-rounded person. So I'm looking forward to this one. This next one is A Child Out of Alcatraz by Tara Isan. And this one was actually published in the 90s, and it says right there on the cover that it was a finalist for the Los Angeles Times Book Prize, and this was her first fiction book. Now, this book is about Alcatraz, but not only Alcatraz, but I guess it's about a woman and her daughter who live on the island. So, if you don't know what Alcatraz is, Alcatraz was an island that housed notorious criminals, and it was a maximum security prison, okay? But I guess at the time, there were families, like 60 families, who were of the prison staff who lived on the island. Like this really happened. So this book is a fiction, and so I think this should be really, really interesting. Like I don't know much about Alcatraz besides that, and I'm really, really looking forward to finding out more. Like I imagine that if this book is good, I already know I'm going to end up on a deep dive about Alcatraz because I actually love documentaries. So this one, like I said, it was a finalist, so I'm expecting for it to be really, really good. But yeah, and apparently the mother starts to like disintegrate, and like how the mother's changing affects the daughter. So that's what I know about it. Looking forward to reading that one as well. This one is Together We Will Go by J. Michael Straczynski, and it is a road trip to the end. And so this book is about, there's this writer who's a failed author, and he's really must be really sad about it, and he's going to take a road trip across the country to pretty much go kill himself, and he is bringing along a bunch of other people who are also disheartened souls, okay? And the way that they plan to commit suicide is they're going to go off of a cliff, which is why, as you can see on the cover, there looks like there's this coach bus that is going off the cliff. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Like, who can't relate to that? Like, hello, raise your hand if you've ever failed at something and felt bad about it. And then raise your hand if you've ever been in like a dark place emotionally, okay, and mentally. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this one. And then this one actually has a quote on the cover by another author. It says, "Sad, thoughtful, and humane, a hymn to life." And then just the fact that there's like all these other people going with him, like I imagine there's going to be like a cast of different characters and personalities and people from different walks of life, which I really enjoy in books. So that's Together We Will Go. Okay, we are on our last and final book from this amazing, amazing book haul. Now, if you've gotten this far, please go ahead and give me a like. And if you want to, go ahead and subscribe. I do plan on bringing much more book videos to you, and I'm going to do some vlogging. We'll see how the vlogging goes, but I'm going to do some vlogging as well, because do you know that I realized I go to bookstores almost every weekend. I go to a bookstore or I check out books almost every weekend. What the heck am I doing? Anyway, this book is Truth and Other Lies. And this book is by Maggie Smith. Never heard of her, like I said. And it says 3 women, 2 secrets, 1 lie. And this is about 3 generations of women. And all 3 of these women are public figures in one way or another. You know, there's a famous journalist, there's a politician, and there's a young reporter, right? So they're all pretty known in the public eye. Well, all of a sudden there's this anonymous tweet that comes in that is going to bring everything crashing down. And apparently there's also some blackmail in this book as well. So that just sounds so interesting. The quote at the top says, twisty, timely, and rivetingly thought-provoking. And so that alone, I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to find out what is the secrets, what is the lie, and let's hear more about these 3 generations of women. So, and I love that cover. That cover is really, really pretty. It looks like there's 3 different cloth colors all mixed in together. Very good cover. So that is it. That is my book haul from Half Price Books. And it was so good. I literally felt like, you know how like you're in a casino and you might be playing a random game and all of a sudden you just hit some money and you're like, I don't even know how. Like, how the heck? Look at these books. They are in such good condition and they all sound so good. What I think I'm going to do is, I think that I'm going forward, not this month because I already shared my August TBR, but going forward, I think I'm going to put each one of these, one at least, into my future TBRs, because all of these, like I said, they're kind of, some of them, they're not thrillers, just slight, some of them were slightly thrillers, and I usually read thrillers, but I think I'm going to put one in September, one in October, one in November, one in December, to include these in my TBRs, because these books all sound so, so good, even if they're not in my complete go-to genre. All right, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up. See you in the next one. Make sure that you give me a like. Bye, and stay booked.